Let me see the job.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building. Separated once more, bro.
Separated by the distance. I know, right? Ayo, the bromance is strong. But how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I mean, as I was saying before we came online, bro, 2 weeks of Hari Raya Ramadan fasting month already, and like Hari Raya just coming right around the horizon. Time flies, man.
I know. How crazy is it? Like, okay, like you in chat right now. What's up, by the way? Div Royalty, is good to see you. Let me give a shout out to chat. If you're there, jump in chat, say hi, but also like how fast has this year been going? Like, is it just me or has this year just flown by all of a sudden? We're almost at June already.
Bro, usually I count the years by WrestleMania seasons, bro. Like, usually if the WrestleMania bill is damn good, right? Like, my January to April, like, time just flies. You know what I mean?
Right. And, well, maybe that's why our January to April has been pretty smooth sailing, because WrestleMania, I mean, just looking back on it, with the storylines building up to it, it was pretty hype, was it not?
Yeah, it was good. It was so good. And I know we are coming down the lull. It's expected. But I think as much as you want to kind of chill and like kind of ease off the pedal, bro, the wrestling news cycle never ends, bro.
Well, here's the thing though, like that is true, right? Like there's a lot of news and we will dive into it in just a little while with Vince McMahon coming back and the potential fallout and all that kind of stuff. But do you feel right now, especially with the WWE anyway, everything is sort of like, all right, back to an old school norm, which is a little bit uncomfortable, that air of unpredictability, but in a bad way? Does it feel like a bit like I don't know what's going to happen, but not in a good way?
Yeah. I mean, because of Vince's return, I mean, let's just put the elephant, like really like, talk about it right now, right? Like Vince's return, and it's only been a week, but I think everyone's back on eggshells, and we haven't seen that in almost a year thanks to Triple H. So yeah, I think the talent is feeling it. I think the television is reflecting it, and I'm not sure what happened on Raw, so I'm hoping to hear that there is some sort of improvement or some good storyline coming out of that.
Let me say hello to Irvin, by the way. Irvin said, "What's up? Yellow Star Awards over." Yeah, clearly that was what we were all excited about. Irvin Joker, no. HS Lee, it's good to see you as well. So the biggest news coming out of Raw, right? I just peeked at the spoilers. I haven't obviously watched it myself because stuff to do, right? Was I don't think it's a spoiler for anybody, but close your ears if you haven't watched Raw and you don't want to be spoiled. But Trish turned on Becky and probably on Lita as well. So you got heel Trish going up against Becky Lynch going into Backlash. I mean, we haven't seen Trish as a heel, well, ever since she retired, because, you can't really retire a heel that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, essentially her entire, final run in WWE before she retired, she was kind of a heel. Yeah. And then just on the day that she retired, like that match with Lita, she became baby because she was in Toronto, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, people respect her for what she's done for the industry and stuff like that. She's a big name as well. So the thing is, do we want to jump into it right now? I guess since we're already on the topic, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we can clear whatever happened on Raw. I think this is freshest on people's minds.
But at this point, okay, we haven't seen it yet. This is just, me reacting off of the news coming off of the internet. But I'm like, is a heel Trish something we really wanted to see?
In 2023?
Yeah, is Trish being back full-time something we wanted to see in 2023?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the funniest thing is, right, the story coming out of the Damage Control and that 6-man women's match is a Trish Hilton. But shouldn't the focus be on Damage Control?
You see, that's the thing, and I wonder if it's a Vinceism or is it... Okay, here's the thing, right? I hesitate to blame everything bad now on Vince because for all we know, this could have been the plan moving forward. They're just coming off the high. You know how WrestleMania was such a high, right? With, Sammy and KO and the Usos and the Bloodline, all those storylines, the Mysterios. sort of coming to a resolution. So now everything just went straight into a lull. And I know a lot of people, myself included, were very disappointed because nothing truly humongous happened on the Raw after WrestleMania. I mean, there was the big Brock turn, but also it was like, really? It's the sort of turn that we were like, but do we really want to see him as a heel against Cody?
We were enjoying like Cowboy Brock, and I think the biggest problem is the momentum got sucked out post WrestleMania.
Right.
That Raw really took a lot out of us, and of course SmackDown also. I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, it was an improvement on Raw, but I wouldn't say it was like a newsworthy show. So I feel they kind of. It's almost like you scored like a home run and then like you realize, alamak, not enough to win the game, you know?
Well, okay, here's the thing, like, are we just spoiled? Are we just spoiled because we had such, good storylines going in, resolving, and then now it's, it's like watching a 7-0 match in the World Cup and then expecting the next match to be a banger like that, and then the next match is 0-0, boring. I gotta talk football terms also, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, you just hit the nail right on the head of being a Liverpool fan this season, bro.
Is it really? Explain to me.
Bro,
I haven't been watching.
Bro, 1 week, remember that time a few weeks back, they trashed Man U 7-0?
Yeah.
Bro, they lost their next 3 games, bro.
So does it feel the same? Like, bro, similar?
Exactly the same. And like the most recent over the weekend, they drew 2-2 with Arsenal, which is the league leaders right now. So I feel that vibe as a Liverpool fan, because when Liverpool was sucking, right, this like whole half a year, I was like, oh, no, it's okay, I'm fine. I got WrestleMania, I got WWE to kind of like keep me happy. But now both is like, I mean, it's, haunting my style, bro.
Right. Tovakin, what's up? Tovakin says, puppies, as Jerry Lawler would say. I'm sure somewhere somebody is envisioning Vince McMahon in the back going, yes, we need more Trish, we need more puppies.
Bro, that mustachioed villain of him, I think.
It's that mustache, it makes everything seem like he's the cause of it. Irvin says he's the convenient scapegoat for everything. I tend to agree. To agree that we've probably piled way more than he deserves. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure his hand is in there somewhere. Hopefully away from the puppies. He really kena scandal. So let's have no more scandals, okay?
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, we might jump to conclusion. I think a lot of the fandom is like, always need to find someone to blame if something doesn't go right? And there was the news coming out that actually the plan to keep Cody for him to lose was always part of the plan. So that was a Triple H thing, right? So at the end of the day, we kind of have to take a step back and see where the story unfolds. But I think it's all right to be upset. I think us being upset is supposed to be the emotion that they're trying to get out of us.
Well, this is wrestling. It's storytelling. We're supposed, exactly like you said. So like we mentioned a couple episodes ago, looking back at WrestleMania, I'm like, maybe this was the right thing to do. Just have Cody fight for one more year. Have him win the title upon coming back so quickly. I think it might have been the cheap way out. So maybe they're really playing the long game. Or maybe back in Triple H's mind, he's like, I remember you smashed Throne, huh? Make fun of me on AEW. Okay, I remember. I get you so close to winning the title, and then boom, take it away.
Ayo, poor fella. Hey, what's up? What's up, Saleh? Our young boy. Nice to see you back on the chat.
Tobakin says, can't be worse than being a Chelsea fan. Is Chelsea doing very poorly this season?
Bro, I know you were used to be a Chelsea fan, bro. You know which position they are in right now?
Oh no. Where? Middle of the table.
Yeah. Less than 2 months left of the season, they are 11th.
Wow, that's what happened. What happened to my Veron, Drogba, Frank Lampard, God. John Terry? Those are the golden days, man.
Hey, bro. Speaking of Lampard, he's back as a interim coach, bro.
Where? At Chelsea?
Yeah, at Chelsea. He's the coach now.
Some people, they play well, maybe not so good as coach. I don't know.
If you follow the narrative, you know what happened. Basically, Chelsea went through 3 bosses this season, bro.
Oh, okay. So they have an issue with leadership now, lah. Like it's being tossed around, hot potatoed around.
And Roman already, he kinda ousted from Chelsea, right, because of the Ukraine war.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. This time last year, so they have this new American billionaire owner who is like shit lah. He doesn't know. He's the one buying players left, right. Bro, the fucker spent almost 600 million in just one transfer season, bro. And still 11.
Walao, but who did he buy? Did he buy like top names? Because I
Yeah,
haven't heard
yeah.
anything big.
He bought like a Zhao Phil. I mean, you get all the youngsters. Like, I don't think you
Ah,
recognize their names, but
okay.
still waste money, lah, bro. Still waste money.
Oh well,
Oh,
okay, but this is not the football podcast. This is not kick to the ball. This actually,
actually, it should be a good. It's a good name, bro.
We should spin off a football. We find you a football co-host, and then you spin it off,
Can it be a girl, bro? Just asking.
If you can find us one, we can set it up. Anyway, no.
Alright.
Let's come back to wrestling, which is what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I feel like right now the vibe is that of okay, wait and see. And I guess the next big thing that we're all anticipating is the WWE Draft, right? I hope they don't drag this lead up to the draft too long, because right now I feel like yes, Raw, especially because Raw is 3 hours, SmackDown's still okay, like you mentioned, right? I think they need something exciting to happen, and the draft is going to be always a big reset button. Even though leading up to WrestleMania, you know how every time they go up to WrestleMania, right? People just anyhow cross-brand already. Like who is where, who cares, who knows? If I ask you, Rhea Ripley belongs to which show? Do you have to? Yeah, but you have to like think for a bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's from Raw. She challenges for the SmackDown title, and she's a Raw star.
And now she's the SmackDown champion.
Yeah, so they're not even playing to their own rules. They are not even like adhering to the boundaries they set.
Exactly.
It's
so
damn funny.
To me, that's always been an issue. Like, the draft is exciting, but only if you keep to the rules. It's like in wrestling itself. If every match you can go out of the ring and take chairs, then a DQ means absolutely nothing.
Yeah. You know? So my question is that, of course, Triple H announced the draft on this past SmackDown, right? I mean, okay, it's big news. I think it's a good way to shake up the roster. But when exactly will it happen? Will it happen before or after Backlash, in your opinion?
When is Backlash?
So I believe Backlash is actually the end of the month, or I think mid-May, maybe?
May the 6th in Puerto Rico. This is the one where Bad Bunny is hosting. Okay, you know what? I'm pretty sure, just looking at this right now, right? Because there are storylines leading into Backlash, and the major one obviously is Brock versus Cody, which I'm actually quite excited to see. I'm thinking maybe right after Backlash. So the fallout from Backlash. Because Backlash usually is where they resolve the storylines that didn't get resolved at WrestleMania.
Yeah, like they close shop, like Last Copy, clear all the pending storyline. But yeah, I believe that it could be the Raw SmackDown right after Backlash. But my question is like, will it be enough to keep the audience going in the build towards Backlash?
I think, like, I was about to be nice and say I think they have the momentum, but also and maybe I'm just feeling the WrestleMania fatigue. But I'm like, I could be darned. I could be F to bother watching wrestling this week. Like, it's like it feels like I have so many other things I want to do.
Yeah. It's like it's a commitment. I mean, it's like if you're The Rock, right? You already commit like 6 months of storyline build towards WrestleMania. After WrestleMania, you just want to like move on to your other projects and things of that nature. But I just wonder. Whether whatever happened on Raw. Like, I mean, I also haven't heard about what's the latest development between Cody and Brock. Was there anything that happened there? How's the momentum? How was the show overall?
Cody, apparently, I'm looking at some of the results right now, right? Cody called out Brock, so they are setting up that match. And I mean, if anything, they better be building Cody up to at least, get put over by Brock. If anything, Brock wants to make young stars, right? I mean, Cody not young anymore, but you get my point, lah.
Yeah,
if Brock puts the stamp on Cody, I think that's great for him. But where do we go from there?
I have like this thought process, right, about and because I actually spent the last night watching the Dusty Rhodes documentary on A&E.
Sure.
So is that whole, it was like a whole big thing, right? Because Cody was there, Dustin was there, even though he's in AEW, and they talk about his career. And I think one interesting point that they brought up about Dusty's journey to the title, right? Apparently, and I of course I wasn't alive during the Dusty Ric Flair feud, right? And I don't think following it was NWA.
Not really lah, but I mean, we've heard about it being talked about, on WWF TV back in the day, for sure.
Yeah, but apparently, right, they feuded for over 2 years, like between 84 to 86, right? And the entire time, it was Dusty chasing the title from Rick. But he never won. He kept losing. He kept so many, like he got the Horsemen stacked up against him. So he almost won at Starrcade, but then lost the big one, blah, 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 blah. And then finally in 1986, I think he had like a last chance steel cage match. And if he lost, he had to leave the territory, blah, blah, blah. And that's when he finally won. Do you see a bit of similarities, parallels here?
I mean, you know, if anybody, Cody loves his wrestling history, Triple H as well. The fact that this is a literal parallel to that makes all the sense in the world, does it not?
Yeah, and the best thing about Dusty was he was never the long reigning champion. He was always the underdog, always the failed challenger, and then he just wins the big one like one time, you know, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe they are trying to recreate that.
Yeah. In his son, which is, you know, very poetic and probably something that they are setting up for. Thus, the big loss at WrestleMania. But here's the problem, right? So, do you resolve this at WrestleMania again? So, do we get 2 years in a row Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes? Like,
yeah.
Has there been an instance where that's happened other than Rock Cena?
No, it has never. It has never. Yeah, and Saleh brought up a great point. I think the Raw after Mania really derailed everything, like momentum and all that. So it's hard. I think it will take at least 3 months to build back Cody, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he beats Brock, that's a huge feather in his cap, right? But okay, then that leads us to the next problem. What is Roman going to do in the interim? Is he just going to go on holiday, relax a bit, let everybody else fight for all the other titles?
Was there a bloodline mention on Raw or like a Roman appearance?
I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at the entire, Raw.
Yeah, okay. Hey,
rundown.
Good day, Jason.
What's up?
From Australia.
Tobakin thinks that SummerSlam might be the next big time and place to do it. Sure. What? Does he lose again at SummerSlam? Because that wouldn't be exactly 2 years yet, right? You need to extend this to 2 years.
I believe SummerSlam is also a huge stadium show, so that could be a big thing. Apparently, Money in the Bank is happening in London, but not in Wembley Stadium. A bit smaller, O2 Arena, bro.
O2 Arena. I have been to O2 Arena.
Yes.
In fact. Yes. Watching a live taping of SmackDown. By the way, if you guys didn't hear me say this, I'll say this again, right? If you are going to go overseas to a WWE event, don't go to the SmackDown or Raw taping. Go to either a house show or pay-per-view. You know why? Because house show or pay-per-view actually got wrestling. The filming angles is actually very boring. You know, you're just sitting there. Yeah, as a fan, it's very boring because you're sitting there watching people stand around, watching video packages, that kind of stuff. Like when we watch it on TV, it makes sense because we're like, oh, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. But as a fan there live, you're literally, I remember I was sitting there, I think it was Charlotte in the ring. She was just standing there watching the video package with everybody. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, because she came in before the commercial break, because don't forget it's live and there's commercial breaks and stuff like that. So she's just standing there watching. And then, sometimes two opponents will stand there in the ring watching while the video package is playing. So as a fan, you're sitting there going, wow, lame sia.
So they took the magic out of it. It's almost like pulling the curtain back.
A bit. And the thing is, right, especially before a pay-per-view, it's promo and package heavy. So you're just like, you pay money to go there and they're not wrestling, they're just promoting. I mean,
it's like you're watching IMAX, bro. You just look at the Titantron and get to see all the packages, right?
Exactly, right? So pro tip, if you are going to watch Raw or SmackDown, don't waste your money. Go to an actual house show better. Because house shows, and we talked about this before, right? Like house shows is also where they get to freestyle a bit, be silly, do nonsense, explore new stuff, and that's when they have fun, and you can see the joy in their faces, as opposed to having them recite verbiage or cut promos, stuff like that.
Bro, I would say I will give you an even bigger pro tip, bro. If you can, right? If you go overseas, watch a stadium super show overseas. I'm not saying go Saudi Mania.
Actually, why not? Saudi Mania, they pull out all the stops, bro.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, if you're down to go to Middle East, why not, right? But I remembered my big experience overseas watching WWE live. 2018 Super Showdown in Melbourne, Australia. You remember that was Triple H and Undertaker won last time.
That match itself, like nothing to phone home about lah. But no, I mean, like I said, PLE. If you're watching a PLE or pay-per-view, it's fine because those are action-packed. Like they have matches from start to finish. Don't watch a TV taping though. It
Yeah,
really,
definitely.
like Toverkin says, it really does break the immersion. And also, because they tape like main event or some cruiserweight show after, one of the B shows after. So it's like you kind of like want to stick around to watch more, but then it's like a bunch of fellas you don't know also. So you're like a bit lame,
Wouldn't you say the dark match and like whatever show that comes after that is actually where the wrestling was provided?
yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But then it's like a bunch of people I don't really know.
Oh dear God.
So yeah, that kind of sucked. Anyway, so what were we talking about? We were talking about
So we were saying like how like if Cody, like if Money in the Bank is held in London, right?
Yep.
I can foresee Cody winning the Money in the Bank and
You think so?
yeah, cashing it in SummerSlam. Yeah, it makes sense because by that time, Roman has already hit 1,000 days.
Oh yeah. So is that really the milestone that they're going for, 1,000? Because okay, like they've sort of put themselves in this weird position as well, right? Where Roman literally has no more challenges. Like realistically, who's left to step up?
I don't know. It's gotta be Cody still, and I would even dare say there are still some loose stories to be told with Sami Zayn. I think Sami should definitely get a rematch.
But it seems like Sammy and KO are sort of doing their thing with the Usos
bloodline.
now. Like bloodline, like you know how like Kevin Owens got a something smashed onto his knee, you know, the road case, and then now they're playing off the angle as well. So I feel like they're doing all these side quests. To me, I feel like the time for Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns has passed. They had that one match in Montreal. It was hype, but that's it.
It's good there is one match only because I feel it wasn't overexposed.
Yeah.
I think if they built it right, they can revisit it in another setting. And,
Here's the thing, right? Like, and there's this whole like I can't remember this. I think it was on TikTok. People have been sharing this clip of Sami Zayn talking about how, you know, if Triple H was in charge of creative during this whole time, maybe he wouldn't even have had that first match. You know, he credits. I mean, if Vince was in charge, sorry, he credits Triple H for the opportunity to be there, mingling and being in there with Roman Reigns.
I saw that interview actually in full, that the full context of it, Ariel Helwani, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he it's very funny because actually the initial seed for that rivalry was actually still Vince McMahon, because Vince McMahon, when he was still around, there was during the period where Sammy was trying to get to talk to Roman Reigns. Like he was trying to, he was hounding the bloodline, talking to Paul Heyman. So I wouldn't say that Vince wasn't in on the idea, but I think in terms of pulling the trigger, to see how it goes, Triple H I think definitely had the foresight. So we shall see lah.
I mean, it's quite obvious lah. With Sami Zayn, he was probably supposed to just be the comic relief. Like, I mean, 1 year ago, he was wrestling Johnny Knoxville in a giant mousetrap, if you remember. And Vince was probably like, ha ha ha, that's hilarious. That's good stuff, buddy. You know, that kind of shit, right? So he was probably inserted in there as the comic relief. And then he turned out to be so funny. Now, the question is, would Vince have put him in a program versus Roman Reigns? Probably not. It was Triple H, but then I guess maybe the stars aligned, and then Vince had that whole scandal. So I mean, thank goodness for whistleblowers,
bro. If it was Vince still at WrestleMania, I know what the main event would have been, bro.
What's that?
It would have been The Rock versus Roman Reigns, bro.
Well, I mean, that would have been a whole different main event, wouldn't it? And something that people would pay to see.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing, but I would say that the tendency of Vince relying on part-timers would definitely have been higher. I think he would have seen maybe if I want to sell out SoFi Stadium, maybe The Rock is better than Cody Rhodes. You wouldn't, I wouldn't have disagreed if that happened, because he would just have been typical Vince lah to do that.
Right, exactly. So it is what it is. I mean, we should just be happy with what we got, and I guess in the next couple of weeks, we will see who really has control, who doesn't. I mean, for all we know, right, it could be just Vince finally, I return, and then he's going to have his hands in things for a few months. Then after that, he's going to get too busy because he has to deal with upstairs corporate shit.
Yeah, because as the merger comes, I think he will have to attend all those
Yeah.
meetings and interviews and publicity, blah blah blah. Some of our listeners brought in very good points of who can challenge for Romans.
Mm.
Seth Rollins, bro. That's the first name there.
I said this before WrestleMania and I'll say it again. I think he needs a break. I think we need to miss him a bit because he's been doing his thing for
Oh dear gosh.
however long, and I'm like, okay, he's fit now. He's into that role where he's just there to make other people look good. So there's nothing. There's no like, oh, I want to see him win sort of energy going on right now. So I feel like he needs to go away and then really come back with a vengeance and tweak his motivation a bit.
I would say he needs to change up his gimmick, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe the song can stay, sure, but I feel like the song is getting him more over than himself.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he can still keep the song. He can just, just tone down on the whatever Joker thing he's doing and actually like focus. It seems like the Joker thing is taking away from his world title aspirations. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like what is he? Is he high? Is that his gimmick? Is he on drugs? Is he the Joker? Is he a chaos agent? Like, I don't know,
Even when, remember he had that one-off match at Royal Rumble 2 years back against Roman. Even Roman said like, you're nothing but a clown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, if we want to put him in contention against Roman, I think they need to tweak him a bit. I don't know, have him get injured, like, or the Usos destroy him and then he comes back bigger and better. Just the other day I was on the toilet, of course.
Okay.
And I was like thinking, what could possibly be next? Like, someone mentioned Gunther, right? I think Gunther will be a long-term thing.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't want Gunther to touch Roman yet. Like, I feel like Gunther needs to beat Brock first to make Gunther, then you put him out against Roman because right now it's too early.
Yeah. My early prediction is Gunther, Brock next year WrestleMania.
Yes.
And if you realize, right, it makes sense now if Brock turns heel.
Yeah.
Because by the time Gunther goes into Mania, he's gonna be like a super over babyface. Like, people are gonna like him despite how heelish he is.
Did you hear the pop when he won at WrestleMania, even though he's a heel? Like, dude is over like crazy. He could very easily, or with Vince, they could very easily bungle this.
No. It's. I think they will push him because I feel like he's one of like the new generation stars that is actually really organically over the fans.
Bro, they will definitely push him. It's how they push him. Look, the Scully, he starts coming out and actually I love everybody. And then, there's always, I worry when like heels get cheered, then writers will be like, oh, we better turn him face. And then all of a sudden change their character, change why people like them in the first place. That is always my worry, especially with somebody like Gunther who's a heel through and through.
Yeah, they need to play it careful. I think there's a way they can make him like likable but still be the badass that he is, right? I mean, just look at what they did with Brock. Brock is literally himself. It's just that he beats up the bad guys instead now,
Yeah. Brock has transcended heel or face. It's just who he decides to go and beat up. Okay, so back to my toilet epiphany, right?
Yes, toilet.
Imagine if somehow this Joker over there on AEW decides to come back to the WWE. I mean, wouldn't you want to see a three-way feud for the title as an interim feud? Seth versus Dean versus Roman?
So you're talking the Joker meaning John Moxley lah.
Yeah.
Bro, but he's too much of a joke, bro. I don't even see him in the same level as Roman Reigns now, unfortunately.
Oh my god. We will get into that shit a bit later on, okay?
Yeah, okay. But I mean, Seth, the Shield triple threat at Mania may or may not happen in the future. I think that would definitely be a sellout for a main event.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. It's probably a thing of now that John Moxley has the taste of creative freedom, he's never going to give it up again. Not even if it's Triple H.
Yeah. I tell you, bro, like sometimes too much of a good thing is really not a good thing. Like I tell you, even food and even like movie, even wrestling, bro.
No, that is true. For example, let's list out the examples of people who, looking back, it's like, no wonder Vince crushed their ideas, okay? People like John Moxley, Chris Jericho.
Yes,
I cannot show favorites here. Chris Jericho, okay? Bray Wyatt.
mhm.
As much as we're like, oh, this guy is like creative, like there's such a thing as, yeah, there's creative, but people don't know what the hell you're doing.
You know what's crazy about Bray Wyatt? Like, just a side topic, right?
Yeah.
You know what's the most involved and the most like invested fans were? Was not him when he returned. It was his vignettes leading to his return. Remember?
Yeah,
All the stupid ass Wyatt 6 and all that kind of shit. So yeah, hit and miss. I get it. Yeah. Who else?
Very much a miss at this point. He comes back and all of a sudden is like, within a few weeks, people don't want to work with him already. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Bro, Jeff Hardy, broken Matt Hardy. Thank you very much, Irvin.
Yeah, I think Jeff Hardy is like you will let him wild lah. He's just gonna go high.
Yeah, that one got demons lah, so that one a bit different. Oh, CM Punk.
Okay. I would argue 2 points for what Vince said. I would say broken Matt Hardy is much better without Vince's interruption. He was best in Impact Wrestling, but in AEW, I think they decided to go in a different direction. So I don't think he's managed to really do his broken universe in AEW. So I would still KIV on Matt because I feel like he can be creative on his own. CM Punk.
Defend your man. Defend your man, bro.
I wouldn't say with regards to promos and building his matches, he doesn't need anyone to tell him what to do. But he needs a Vince to kind of like, bro, settle down. Don't get so personally involved in the politics, blah blah. I think he needs like a guidance there. Maybe I think Paul Heyman will be a better mentor. Not necessarily a Vince.
I think I know what you're saying in that creatively, I don't think he needs boundaries because he has shown to be very good in terms of like, when you look at all his programs, they're all amazing, right? With MJF and whatnot. I think it's more of an emotional sort of relationships. His relationships with people seems to sour very quickly. He needs a manager more than a creative control. Does that make sense?
Yeah, using a football term, I think he's like Ronaldo, bro. Ronaldo.
Okay.
Ronaldo is a genius, right?
Yeah.
But he needs the team to be built around him. He needs like a manager to like put the arm around the shoulder, tickle his balls a bit, up his ego a bit, you know?
Yeah.
But he will deliver for sure.
Yeah.
But the moment he feels like unloved or like he's being backstabbed, betrayed, blah blah blah, then he go on TV and Piers Morgan and he goes talk to the entire team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. That's a great analogy. What is up with all the football analogies today? By the way,
it's good.
Hey man, that's the thing, right? Like any facet of life, be it the corporate world, be it sports entertainment, be it football, you see people being people. And some people just need guidance. Some people don't need guidance. They need emotional guidance. It's just, it's what to us, I think on a different level makes wrestling so fascinating as well.
And I think over the last 20 years, fans has fallen in love again with wrestling because they as they peel back the curtain, right, I think the biggest fear when like in the kayfabe era, the moment the curtain is pulled and they lose the magic. But I feel like the fans knowing about what goes on behind the scenes, I think enhances the magic even more.
Do you think that is what feeds the AEW audience more than the actual in-ring product versus like WWE? The tea that comes out is quite boring. Like they are so corporate now, right? Like there's no real excitement other than when Vince gets the scandal or Vince is screwing things up again. Like, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Like, if you talk about it, let's just look at WrestleMania season. What's the biggest thing people were invested in? The Bloodline storyline. A manufactured fictional storyline that was created by WWE, but everyone was invested in it, right?
Yes.
AEW, what's the biggest storyline?
Okay, well, we'll start talking about AEW, especially when we talk about the Wembley stuff. But yeah, in terms of Vince being back, the rumors are that, several top stars are like not happy. They are asking for their release. They're rumors, there's bound to be one or two people not happy with their place and they'll talk shit. And here's the thing, those people at the top making the big bucks, they're probably not the ones complaining. It's probably the mid-carders who are like, oh, man, you know what I mean? Yeah, same goes with every facet of life, every company. I've seen this happen so many times, especially in the media industry, right? People be blaming, their lack of push or lack of shine because of the boss don't like me, that kind of stuff. So, and they are the only ones who will go and talk to outside media, i.e. the wrestling media.
Yeah, it's interesting because one of the stories that broke a few days ago was Drew McIntyre, apparently one of the unhappy people. Like they tried to offer him a new deal and like he didn't like the numbers, didn't like what was offered to him. I would dare say, right, actually Vince McMahon being back might benefit Drew McIntyre. What do you think? Because if you think about it, wasn't he pushed when Vince was in charge?
Yes, he was. And in fact, he was first pushed as a young kid, didn't work out, right? So because he had a big head, stuff like that. Maybe, Vince just being back in charge, maybe he knows how to push these buttons to get the best out of people. And sometimes it's saying no to them,
Perhaps, but I always felt like Drew really got a raw deal, bro. When he was at his hottest, the world shut down. I mean, like, who would have thought, bro?
Yeah, I know. That one, like, really out of anybody's control, right? Like, what are you going to do? Freaking pandemic happens. I hear that he was injured, actually, so he's taking time out right now. That's why we're not seeing him on SmackDown. Take a break. He had a great performance. He apparently wrestled that triple threat injured also.
Oh wow, respect much. I mean, he got beaten up by Gunther and Sheamus. Remember the 30 freaking the last one kena whack in the head. Probably he got injured again from that.
Yeah, because he slung to the ground and then Sheamus was still like, oh my god. He was like, I didn't expect you to do freaking 29, bro.
Hey, speaking of unexpected, do you see there's another news story that came out that apparently Dom legitimately threw that water in the sister's face, and the sister was legitimately pissed.
Just big brother things. Right?
Oh my god. That's why I say when I was watching it live, I literally saw her gulping the water. Like, what the fish?
Yeah, like, why are you drinking the water, girl?
Yeah, but then the moment she hopped up, that hop is I see that from my siblings all the time when we fight each other. They want to jump and attack you. She don't even catch it in front of millions of people at that point.
Yeah, I'm a F you up right now, boy. So a deal. HS Lee says most wasted talent, Miro. Oh, well, speaking of which, where the hell is Miro?
Oh my god.
He should come back to the WWE and challenge Roman Reigns. I don't know. Okay,
very heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. Because he was one of the ones who were really campaigning to go to AEW. Remember he talked about how Rusev Day wasn't appreciated, blah blah blah. Fuck lah, I think really poor thing. It's not his fault.
Hold on, bro. I'm gonna say it. What am I gonna say? You know what I'm gonna say? Best Booker of 2022.
Bro, 2023 now, bro.
Oh yeah, sorry. Best Booker of 2023 things. Okay, let's wrap up this whole thing about Vince returning. Like I said, I think just to put a bow on it, coming off the high of WrestleMania, right? I feel like really it's just a case of everyone's just dumping everything. Oh, it's Vince's fault. When really they are just going through a transitionary phase before we get to the WWE Draft. To me, that's why the draft is so exciting. Let's look at the draft itself. Who could benefit from a brand switch? Considering the fact that most of these wrestlers have been on both brands at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. Right? Are you pro brand split, like keeping it super separate, or are you like, nah, not really?
Okay, I am pro keeping it super separate and actually maintaining it throughout the year so that when they do the crossover, like once a year, twice a year for Survivor Series or some sort of invasion angle, then it means something. But if you have people crossing over, remember for a while there was what rule was it? Vince's rule,
Oh, that stupid. I know you should have talked
like
about.
Once a week they can have somebody cross over. It's kind of bullshit. No, stop. If you're going to do a brand split, and once in a while have them cross over, right? And yes, usually during the draft, it is also a time for NXT call-ups.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'm very pro brand split because I think I grew up in the Ruthless Aggression era. Like I remember Undertaker as being a SmackDown exclusive superstar. Triple H is only on Raw. You know, like and I think that allows people to build that. I identify with this wrestler as a SmackDown guy. It makes me want to watch SmackDown or makes me want to watch Raw. So definitely they need to keep that. But my question is, right, now that they have floating titles, they have unified titles for tag and the world. How does that play into it if they have their champions on both shows?
I think the main champion, i.e. the unified champions, will still float because they are the unified champions. So technically they belong to both brands. Or both brands belong to them, however they want to spin it, right? But the US and IC title will become more important, which is a good thing. I think it still sucks that Roman kind of, like 90% of the time Roman shows up on SmackDown. Like once in a while, then he show up on Raw, right?
Because he is a SmackDown exclusive, and I think that that actually helps him identify with the SmackDown brand. So I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's a bad thing because he's a champion.
Yeah, and it's a bad thing for Raw because Raw doesn't get to see the main guy, right? So I feel like for the main champions, the dual champions especially, they should be showing up on both shows. Like, I'm not saying force them to work like twice a week like that lah, but schedule it so that 1 week we have this champion, 1 week at least they can work it out. Like they've done so for a while. But do you think they'll merge the women's titles? They've been hinting at Bianca versus Rhea.
I am of the opinion that I wouldn't mind like one show becoming a women exclusive brand. And then one show becoming a tag team exclusive brand.
I think cannot. I think you need representation on both sides. Somewhere along the lines, your network fella will be, why we have no Rhea Ripley? Or I don't think any network is going to complain, why we have no tag team? Because nobody, other than Sami Zayn and KO and the Usos, I don't think people are clamoring to see, tag team title competition.
I mean, hear me out, like maybe the tag team exclusive show can also have the women's tag team, and that's where you have the representation over there.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You keep forgetting about the women's title, tag team title, but it's still a thing.
Because we know that thing is pointless. That thing is not relevant, right? So there's a lot of rumor and talk that they want to introduce new titles. So, I mean, I don't know, unify the titles that Roman Reigns has. The problem is when you do that, right? Are you going to create a new world title? Then?
Oh man, no, I don't think they need so much like lineage, right?
Yeah, the problem with that is that the new title will have no lineage.
Yeah, they shouldn't. The thing is, right, they keep talking about the 1,000 days, 1,000 days. But technically, only one of the titles is 1,000 days, which is the Universal title.
Right.
So I'm still campaigning for the fact that if Cody were to take the titles off of Roman Reigns, it should be for the WWE title. And he can still have his 1,000-day reign, but they start a new like legacy, the WWE Championship on a separate show.
At this point, I don't know how they're ever going to explain splitting the two titles. Like, it doesn't make any sense for somebody to... unless Money in the Bank law, like, and the contract states you can only take one of the titles, not both.
Yeah. I mean, they can storyline their way out of it, I think. But I'm of the opinion that they should separate the titles. I would say bring the World Championship, the WWE Championship back to Raw. I think make the focal point Cody Rhodes. So that's my first pick, bro. Keep Cody Rhodes on Raw and keep him the top guy there.
Okay, then on SmackDown, do we still have Roman Reigns on SmackDown? Or, like I said, I suggest he be both lah. But, if you're going to split the titles like that.
I like Roman as a SmackDown guy. Like I feel he kind of identifies like the island of relevancy really feels like SmackDown.
Right.
So I would say keep him there. So
when they finally switch him in like 2025, it would be impactful, right? Yeah, because I agree with you. The same way maybe Seth Rollins is a Raw guy. And then now switching him to SmackDown might be, a refreshing change. Maybe that's the change he needs.
Yeah, I'm actually not a fan of like the recent rules of the draft. Remember they always say like SmackDown and then Raw can get their pick, like 3 picks for Raw, 3 picks for SmackDown, and then sometimes like somebody from Raw would get picked to stay on Raw. Like I feel it's a waste of that whole system lah.
Also, don't they do it such that Raw gets more? So Raw gets 3 picks to SmackDown's 2 picks because Raw is a 3-hour show. And Irvin brought up just now, do you remember the year where they tried to have like the executives, they filmed the executives in the war room and all like freaking bad acting?
Raw and USA Network, that's them.
Yeah. And then like SmackDown and Fox, they're like, okay, wait. Like, all pretend to look at pieces of paper circling.
I rather instead of like the Raw can pick back their own superstar, for example, they should have the picks of the opposite show. Then they really force the change.
No, but that is not how a draft works though. A draft works in that everybody gets put in the pool and you can pick from. So technically, Raw can pick a former Raw person, you know what I mean, to protect their champions.
start from zero and then everything is like all new again lah.
Yeah.
Okay, but then the reason why I don't like it is because you have the chance that everything will just remain the same as well.
Well, I mean, sometimes some things will have to stay. Like for example, if I can't very well not pick freaking Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? Like, he's literally the top guy. If SmackDown doesn't pick Roman Reigns, that doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah, like if it was up to me, I would. Okay, this is how I book my career general manager mode, bro. And
Yeah.
I know you've been having fun. I've also been having fun on it. I always keep the champions on the same show. So after every season ends, I'll just pick the champions, right? And I think that makes sense. If you just want to keep the champions, so they are the pillars of the show, but everyone else change.
Actually, I have a very sneaky suspicion that Raw will win a coin flip and they will go first and they'll pick Roman Reigns. I have a feeling because for the past, has it been 2 years that Roman has been on SmackDown?
I would say 2020. It's been 3 years, bro.
3 years? Okay, well, I mean, maybe it is time. Maybe USA Network is like, hey, 3 years already, This fella has been on Fox. Time to bring him over to the A show. It kind of makes sense to me to have Roman Reigns finally go to Raw because he's been dominating SmackDown for a while. You want to say stale, not stale, whatever. Hey, it depends on whether you enjoy their storyline, which, we have, right? But I feel like maybe now's the time to bring Roman Reigns over to Raw. And then, of course, conversely, you get Cody to go over to SmackDown, so you separate them. Let them have distance first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you gotta know, I think Fox won't be like, hey, come take our biggest star, no problem. No. If they're gonna negotiate, I would think that renegotiation this year, right, will include clauses like we need Brock Lesnar on our show.
Right.
Those kind of things.
Well, Brock versus Cody is going to be the program, so maybe that's... I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, there are a lot more politics, and the internal politics are more interesting than the actual draft itself, right?
Okay, yeah, but I agree. I think Raw needing Roman Reigns will make Raw immediately a must-see show, for sure. But do you think they will split the factions out? Do you think they will split the Bloodline? Do you think they will split Judgment Day? That's my question posed to you.
Wow, it's tough. It's tough, right? Like, they've built so much momentum. Okay, Judgment Day? I mean, honestly, if you split up Damian Priest and Finn Balor, nobody really cares. It's all about Mami and Dom. Like, if those two remain... That's the act. The other two are like the sidekicks, right?
Wouldn't you say Mami and Dom is like this generation's like Edge and Lita a bit rated R,
Yeah, sure, right? Eddie China, if you want to go there as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great comparison.
I think they are more Eddie China because they have that sort of like lovable, ness to them, right? So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, if they could do a whole angle where they do get split up and then Dom kicks up such a big fuss that he gets traded over somehow, last minute trade.
Yeah. Again, I think the draft works if there are very obvious figureheads who's the general manager of each show. I mean, there was Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, but Sonya Deville is not part of it anymore. I think they should keep that. And also, I think they should keep the champions in one show and free for all for everyone else.
So who is going to represent Raw and SmackDown now? That's a very good point because that was in my head as well. Like, I hate the fact that there's no like main figurehead for each show. It's Adam Pearce on both shows.
Yeah, that sucks. And remember there was this one year where like they even drafted the announcers. I think that was super funny. Oh dear. Yeah, so like I wouldn't mind like literally they also have things like they can split up tag teams, or they can bring someone from NXT. Even NXT is part of the draft. That would be cool.
Well, first of all, you know that some tag teams are going to get split up. Most likely, and Chad was talking about it, the Street Profits, right? I think that maybe this year is Montez Ford's year. I don't know where that leaves Angelo Dawkins as a solo, but I mean, Montez Ford versus Roman Reigns, Montez Ford going for the IC or the US title, all are very legitimate pushes.
Yeah, definitely. So I think right now, my opinion is there's too much stars on SmackDown. I think they kind of need to split up things. Like, remember when Drew was like super like a Raw guy, and then Roman was a SmackDown guy. I think they need to bring back some of the power back to Raw.
Karrion Kross, bro. It's Karrion Kross's time, and Scarlett.
Where's my guy? But that's the thing, right? If you keep the shows separate, right, I think people like a Karen Cross have the chance to blossom even more, as opposed to like whatever wishy-washy booking that is happening right now. Yeah,
Well, what's his face? Vince is back, so
yeah. Oh,
anything
no,
goes.
but one thing Triple H did say in his promo on SmackDown, remember he said like this draft will change everything.
Yep.
So I have like kind of like a bit of optimism that there
Sure.
might be some huge changes going on.
I mean, Braun Breaker, do you think that he's ready? Like right now, he just turned heel on NXT, so now suddenly Carmelo Hayes is the face and Braun Breaker is the heel, right?
If this whole draft only takes place after Backlash, then I think he will leave. So that means he will have one last blow-off feud, and Carmelo beats him, and then he goes to the main roster.
I think that makes perfect sense, right? And that's a great way of sending him off as well. You can't have him as a face again lose, and then he's like, he goes up to the main roster. Yeah, I expect Braun Breaker, Cameron Grimes, hopefully.
Yeah. Can I have a suggestion, bro?
Who? What?
Can we draft Gargano back to NXT permanently?
Actually, you know what? That would be perfect. That we've talked about this before, right? Like just draft him back and let him, be the veteran there.
The veteran, yeah.
Instead of like doing nonsense and bad acting on Raw. Stop! No! Don't!
Technically, that was in NXT also lah.
But it's still like, holy crap. Irvin says, Elias on Raw, Ezekiel on SmackDown.
Bro, you don't make that fella work twice a week, poor guy lah.
Hey, with Vince, he's like, wait, didn't we script a third brother? What was the third brother's name that they mentioned? Elias, Ezekiel, and E. Starts with E1. Somebody on chat will definitely remember.
It's some stupid ass name also lah. Probably Bible name also.
Yeah, the third Elias brother debut. Confirmed already with Vince back. Confirmed that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think Kevin Owens must have said it. No, but then he have to grow his beard and shave his beard every week, is it?
No, this one, the third brother, shave both out the head.
Oh dear God.
Oh dear God. One week he wears a bald cap, another week he shave beard, another week he paste beard. Wow, poor guy.
Poor guy.
And then, knowing Vince, right, you're gonna have Elias versus Ezekiel match, like how he had Undertaker versus Undertaker, Kane versus Kane.
Oh dear. Does that make Bray Wyatt a Raw exclusive and the Fiend a SmackDown exclusive?
Oh my God. And then you have Fiend versus Bray Wyatt, is it? At WrestleMania? Shit, man. Rishi says Eli.
Is it Eli? I feel it's another name though. Yeah.
But never mind. Yeah.
I just remember that very funny picture that they all took when all of them were there.
Elrod!
Yes,
it's Elrod! Elrod, yes.
I think it was like a Bible, Lord of the Rings name or something.
Lord of the Rings name? Oh shit.
Elrod, one of the elves, bro.
Yeah. Okay, just to put a bow on it, I feel like the draft, while it's supposed to be exciting, shake things up, with exception to a few people, like the rest of the mid-card and under, like who cares if they I feel bad for saying it, but I'm like,
Okay. Maybe we can end with this prediction. Like, who do you think will benefit most from this year's draft? Who can actually become a star thanks to the draft?
USA Network. No. You're talking about individual wrestlers. I'm really hoping Montez Ford gets his shine this year as a solo. Maybe I don't know if they can't split up Imperium, right?
No, I don't think they will. But this is weird to say because I know he's been pushed, but I feel like Theory might get a chance to shine.
But does he stay on Raw?
If they flip the titles over.
Okay, sure. But then if you
the US to SmackDown.
Yeah, that means you would have to have Imperium, all three of them go over. Well, Riddick Moss, Irvin says, if
that's a good one. Yeah.
If they do something with him, for crying out loud, like the dude looks jacked and he's not terrible in the ring either, right? He just had a shit gimmick for the longest time.
What about Rick
Boogs? I can't take him seriously. I don't know. Like his character now is like he's overbearingly annoying. Maybe they should just turn him heel.
No, I because I watched the Mania 38 24 doc, right?
Yeah.
They actually really followed him and his career, gave him like some shine for 20 minutes and then he got injured. So it was quite a sad storyline. But I remember how over he was last year, so I feel like he might connect back with the crowd. You never know.
Maybe, hopefully. I don't know. He's been doing these backstage things where he's like overly like. I'm like, bro, this is not the 80s wrestling. Like he comes across as a 80s wrestler, the way he talks and acts.
Yeah, he's like a buffed up Rick Rude slash a bit of Ultimate Warrior with the crazy energy.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what he's
so
going for. Yeah.
I don't know. I would love for him to turn heel actually. Now that the more I think about it, he can be that irritating guy that doesn't realize he's irritating.
Oh dear. Okay, what about the women? Who do you think might benefit from this?
Yes. Bailey. Anything split up damage control, that will benefit all of them, 100%.
Poor fella, yeah. Damage control, I think definitely needs a new life or maybe a split lah. One person I'm curious actually. I kind of want to see where our Piper Niven goes.
Okay. Well, I mean, Piper Niven has only existed on Raw, right? So now she would have to go to SmackDown and start something different.
Yeah, I feel like if she got a new change of scenery on SmackDown, they might be able to push her really as a monster healer.
Irvin suggests Tegan Nox. I hate to say this, but Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai are two people on NXT that never stood out to me, and they still don't stand out to me on the main roster.
A bit interchangeable.
Not just interchangeable, but yeah, whenever they get on the mic, whenever they're presented in the ring, it's like, meh. I don't know why people were so, like, maybe because they were such stalwarts of NXT. So you can't help but like, okay, like these are our girls, we want them to succeed. But when you watch them, it's like, Shotzi is another one.
Yeah, but I feel like they have a place in NXT only. I feel like that's their ceiling.
Ceiling, same. Zoe Stark, I'm going to say, because I think somebody suggested that maybe she's going to get called up. I find her boring.
You know what? I would rather Nikita Lyons go to Raw and SmackDown.
Okay, I think the Lion is not ready yet lah. She's still nursing an injury, and there's a bit more polishing for Nikita Lyons. But I get what you're saying. Like Nikita Lyons, once she has a bit more seasoning,
she seems like a main roster type of character. You know what I mean?
Like a powerhouse, but freaking agile AF. But maybe okay, hang on. Maybe we need to wait for something to happen before Nikita Lyons gets called up. What do you think that is, bro?
What is that, bro? I'm not sure.
The retirement of Vince McMahon. I'm sorry, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Vince wouldn't get her appeal.
She would probably make her do some stupid shit lah. I agree lah.
Vince would just make her what's her face? Nia Jax. That's it. And nothing else.
But she's definitely I think she has a bigger upside than Nia Jax. I think she's definitely more athletic.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
What if Vince brings back Mandy?
Man, knowing Vince, he will bring back Mandy. It's like, you're birds of a feather. We both are. We are both. We get each other, man.
I don't think they could pay Mandy enough. Like the reports are like she's making more than some of the top guys in the WWE from her OnlyFans or so. I mean, more power to her, man.
I don't think most of the guys are only like a select few are millionaires, right? From wrestling.
Well, she's making bank right now. Them supporters do be shrimping.
I mean, more power to them. I mean, I clearly can't access any of that, especially during this month, holy month. But I'm pretty sure she's doing well even in this month as well. So good for her.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Do you see any other NXT call up happening? Do you think any of them are ready, quote unquote?
Man, I would like to see Dante Chen being called up from NXT, level up to NXT.
Level up for him. Who else?
Okay. I think Wesley is too early. Maybe one of the tag teams. I wouldn't mind seeing Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly, I think Pretty Deadly would be quite entertaining on the main roster.
Hang on, let me go back to Dante Chen for a second. Didn't he wrestle Boa on Level Up?
Yeah. He won. I think.
What happened to Boa? Wasn't he like part of some
Tiensha?
Wait, Tiensha was on NXT, right?
Correct. And then Xia Li got brought up, remember?
Yeah, and look at what Xia Li is doing now.
Xia Li had the best debut entrance music ever, and then she just disappeared.
Bro, her AR effects were damn cool, yeah.
Yeah, what a waste.
Bro, Xia Li, Lacey Evans, all so much potential. Okay, maybe not so much Xia Li. I'm still not impressed by her ring work, but Lacey Evans, this stop-start thing where, oh yeah, she's gonna be a top heel, and then after that she become babyface, and then cut emotional promos, and within a week become heel. Like, what?
Yeah. What happened to her recent army gimmick where she's doing the freaking like Cobra Clutch? What happened to that?
No, I think they're trying to channel like a Sergeant Slaughter vibe where, you know, she's a sergeant, but she's a bad, like a heel. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know. Maybe she needs a run in NXT to rehab her character a bit.
Maybe. Irvin says Veer. Yes, Veer is coming again apparently.
Oh really? No, I thought Veer is with Sangha. Like they're one tag team now.
I think they're gonna bring them back because Veer apparently on social media put like, I'm coming back again or something like that. It's like, oh my god. You know what would be cool? If they ran the same promo. Veer is coming.
They do the Sand Veer. Remember Sand Veer and Sand Hook was a thing?
Yeah. No, they should run this shit again for like a year. Veer is coming to Raw. Veer is coming, and he never show up. And this big inside joke. Veer is coming together with Sangha. Great, 2 people, more chances to get lost. Okay.
Tag team lah, more tag team.
Yeah. They will be like this destroyer tag team, and then I don't know. At some point, they will not know what to do with them. And then it'll be a dancing act like Shanky, and then that's the end of their career.
Bro, I figured what's the issue about this draft, bro.
What?
Right now, right, we have very established top stars.
Too established really. To a point, it's too. The upper, like the main event is like 2 guys or 3 guys essentially. Yep. Cody, obviously Roman Reigns, Brock.
Maybe a bit of Brock. I would dare say Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is kind of like almost main event.
Honestly, I would call them upper mid card, like teetering on main event, but not quite.
Like they can't sell out a show on their own, lah. That's what
I don't think so. Yeah.
But the point is, right, all of these talents very established on the mid card, but like anything below, right, is like complete drop off, bro. Like no heat, no attachment. I would even say maybe Sheamus and Drew, but they're kind of like upper mid card as well. But
I mean, the whole Ray Dom thing kind of elevated them. So I mean, thankfully there's the women's division as well. So, you know, on the women's side, so also kind of the similar situation, right? You have Alexa Bliss could do with a change.
Change. I think she's definitely a star, and she's proven that she can be a star beyond just WWE. How do you use her well when she's back?
I wonder if it's a case of she's one of those like a Miz where they're always going to be there because they are also, you know, dabbling in other things. So it bodes WWE well to have them under contract, have their name, have their likeness be in like Dancing with the Stars or that singing contest that Alexa Bliss was on, you know? Like
Masked Singer.
Yeah, the Masked Singer. Like, you know how the Miz is always there, like because he brings value, because people love them or hate them, and they are in Hollywood, they are in other things. But they are never going to get that push to the main event because they it's not necessary for them to be there because they already had their run.
Bro, you know what? You know who I want to see as a featured performer and even winning a title this year?
Who?
The latest WWE re-signee, Logan Paul, bro. I didn't even mention him.
Title, wow. Yeah. But then, of course, he's a healer versus Roman. See, the thing is with his sort of a contract as well, he's just going to be there for the marquee main events. He's not going to be there week in, week out. So I don't see him challenging Roman, honestly. Maybe he will challenge Cody, but not Roman, you know?
I would say, right, I want to see him in the mid-card and have a rivalry with Theory. I would think that would elevate Theory as well.
Oh yeah, but then somebody has to turn face. And they're both very strong heels at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. And like somebody like him, I think somebody like him would like, you know what, I want to challenge Gunther for the sake of it.
Okay, to be fair, right, like for someone like him, he's probably going to disappear for a while. He'll only come back SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble, Mania, the big 4. That's it. Like I don't or maybe some sort of Saudi show. But actually not. Yeah, definitely for the Saudi show because that's where the money is.
So then, do you think though Logan will be part of the draft? Will he be drafted to an exclusive brand?
No, I don't think so. They will use him as and when for main event pop for celebrity match, and that's it. And he's smart enough, bro. He's smart enough not to be involved in the week by week stuff. right?
Would you consider him a special attraction on the level of Undertaker? He's like WWE's new Undertaker, only using for special occasions, bro.
I think so. I think so. He's bro, Logan Paul, if anything, love him or hate him, right? He's damn smart. He knows how to market himself. Exactly like what Irvin says. His value is so high because he's like, okay, I only short-term commitment. He's like that girl, you know? They're like, oh, I'm only interested in a while, keep you on the hook. You know, if you see her every day, of course her value quote unquote drops or their value drops, right? But if you only see them once in a while, you're like, oh, be still my heart. That's Logan Paul, y'all.
Bro, that was me at Celeb Fest over the weekend, bro. I mean, all the Malay celebrities was in Singapore.
What? What is this celeb fest?
I know you're not aware, but I think it is worth me explaining to you. So, right, every year during Ramadan, right, they do this thing called Celeb Fest. It's like a huge ass expo at the Suntec, right? And they bring all the Malaysian celebrities from overseas. You know, like the Aaron Aziz level, but of course, like they're like they have millions of followers. They are legit big deals, and they come and set up a booth and sell their barang-barang, like whatever their brand.
So it's like a wrestling convention,
It's literally, so basically, I don't know whether these names are familiar to you, like Nora Danish.
Not really, but okay, I get the idea, yeah.
Okay, but the point is, like, they are huge, right? But then the funny thing is, all of them are all accessible because they just set up all these like Suntec booths and like stalls, and you can just walk around and you can like kind of like see everyone and like talk to them. Really felt like a wrestling expo, but for Malaysian celebrities.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. How I link this back to WWE, I feel like Logan Paul is that kind of guy, right? He's just there to. He will reel you in, whether you're a fan, non-fan.
Yep.
I see people who doesn't know anything about wrestling reshare his wrestling-related stuff.
Yep. Bro.
And then he will leave.
Yeah, no. You talk about this type of convention, right? Everyone is there all day long. He is the guy who will show up for 1 hour and that's it. You do not have access to him. That's how he keeps his value up. If you have access to, I don't know, name me a celebrity, Ryan Reynolds. If you could see him every day, talk to him, his value drops, what? I mean, you know, it makes sense.
I'll be a very happy guy being around him every day.
Yeah. But that's the point, right? Like, if you only get to see him like 5 minutes a day, you'll treasure those 5 minutes versus like you see him every day 10 hours, you know? So he's very smart and he's milking this for all it's worth because he knows that at the end of the day, he can't be doing it forever, right? This is not his gig. This is not, he's not going to be a veteran of the sport. He's just going to do it for a couple of years, make the money, and then like, woo, do his energy drink, whatnot.
I just realized, right, actually, that attitude and that like mindset and strategy is great for becoming a like huge ass celebrity.
Yeah, but you have to have a certain level of celebrity first. Like, it's not like I could go up to them and say, okay, I signed this contract, only show up once a week. Like, it wouldn't mean nothing.
Yeah, no, but what I'm getting at is good for becoming a celebrity, but it's very bad for becoming a good husband.
Oh, wow, yeah, exactly.
You tell your wife, hey, you don't appreciate me, I will disappear for 1 year, I come back for 1 hour, then you will see my value.
No, that doesn't work in real life. This only works for celebrity, right? So yeah, there you go. That's the draft. I mean, anything else you want to touch on in terms of the draft before we move on to AEW?
Well, not really, but I would say, right, what interesting, you know what we can do? I think we should just do like a random recording of us doing a draft from 2K23.
Sure.
Right before the draft, and then we just drop it like some sort of TikTok content, like, oh, here is what we think will happen at the draft based on
Walao. Okay, yeah. And then the first pick, I go and pick freaking like, you know, Grand Metalik. Wait, does she still work there? No, first pick, what?
Wait, bro, we can play online, right?
Nope. It's couch co-op.
Oh, couch co-op. That means like if you want to do the 4 people, you have to be in the same room and doing it.
Yes. Which, I mean, I don't understand why in 2023 we can't do an online thing. You can if you like do like a share screen thing, it's doable. But there's a bunch of setup to be done and it's easier to just sit down.
Next time we'll figure it out.
You come over, we just sit down, we record one freaking playthrough and then we end up playing game the whole day. Anyway.
Hey bro, don't give me ideas, bro. Let's do that, man.
Yeah. Let's talk about AEW then, you know, moving on from the WWE, from the draft and everything. Wembley, okay. First of all, that episode of Dynamite. Oh boy.
How do you think they bounced back from WrestleMania? Do you think they did a good job?
No. I try to give it a chance, you know. Like every week I'm like, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch. But I end up watching. And it's like it ends up disappointing again. I don't know what it, because partly because we do this show, but also partly because I want to give it a chance, right? Because like, okay, WrestleMania, you know, it's over. Vince is back. There's definitely going to be a lull. Maybe AEW will take advantage. Like everyone kept saying, right? Like, oh, this is the time for AEW to take advantage because WWE is shooting itself in the foot with Vince coming back.
Yeah, and they were trying to tease people by saying that Tony Khan has a big announcement again.
I'm sorry, my eyes just rolled straight into my back and just fell out of my ass. Look, first of all, they've done this. Tony Khan has an announcement to death already. They should just stop it. I know I know he listens to his audience, his, I don't know, naysayers, whatever. I don't know why that's the only one thing he doesn't want to listen. I.e., stop being on camera making these announcements looking awkward AF and delivering it in such a bleh way, right? And I mean, if you look at the ratings for Dynamite as well, it is not a good picture. Week on
It's
week.
gone down. It's gone down, right?
And there are certain segments that it's proved the women's matches are always a downer for them. And then they're doing such a piss poor job. And let's just start from the start, right? You start off with the a big signing. Will Ospreay joining AEW. And
wait, was it Will Ospreay that announced, or was it Jay White?
Jay White, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, to me, they freaking interchangeable. I'm sorry. Like, look, you guys know me. I'm not a New Japan connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination, right? So all these people become interchangeable to me, and it is up to AEW to educate me. Right? So Jay White shows up, does his thing, and as much as we love Ricky Starks, he's a mid-carder at best.
Bro, they really derailed his momentum, bro, since that awesome promo with MJF.
Yeah. Look, this is not how you introduce a new main eventer. If, in fact, Jay White is supposed to be a main eventer, I mean, by all intents and purposes, he's supposed to be a main eventer, is he not?
Yeah, he was a main eventer in New Japan.
Yeah.
Title contender.
Exactly, right? And this Tony Khan just doesn't understand that you do not debut him against a mid-carder. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking have him come in and who's your... Actually, that's the problem. There are no main event guys. And this is Tony's problem. He's booked himself into a situation where there is no main event guy to talk about.
Bro, last time it was Cody Rhodes. Remember everyone debuted against Cody Rhodes?
Yeah. You know, at least you give somebody... I'll give you the classic example. Chris Jericho debuted against...
The Rock.
Yeah, so after that he drops down, that's fine, right? But at least in your mind, the first impression you have of this new guy is that's a main event star. He's hanging in there with The Rock. Here's another example. Who did Karrion Kross debut against?
I would say Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. That was great.
So you throw him, of course, since then he's just fallen off the map. But still, at least your initial impression is that that's a main event guy. Here, you go and introduce him with a guy people have barely seen, i.e., not Ricky
Juice
Starks.
Robinson.
Juice Robinson? Can we agree that Juice Robinson has been sort of not here, not there?
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be a Bullet Club, like a huge part of Bullet Club, but Bullet Club is so 6 years ago.
Yes. And here's the other thing. I don't watch New Japan. You cannot expect me to know Bullet Club this. Oh, they are a dominant faction. I don't know who the fuck they are. You know what I mean? Like, and to have him sort of, they're friends. Okay, I get that they're friends, but you guys are beating up a guy who's sort of like a mid-card guy who's been treated so poorly. In everybody's eyes, Ricky Starks is just like meh. So I'm sorry, but they did once again, best booker of 2023, a piss poor job of introducing this audience who might be new. You cannot assume that everyone knows who Jay White is. And you've essentially sort of said, okay, Jay White's sort of mid-card, maybe upper mid-card, that's it.
I would argue to say that, you know, apparently there was news that WWE was actually trying to sign Jay White. And like, you know, there was rumors even up to WrestleMania and post WrestleMania, maybe he might debut on Raw. I think he would have had a bigger moment if he had debuted in WWE than what he did in AEW.
Because WWE, for all their negative points, and I'm not trying to be a WWE mark here, but at least they know how to debut a person. Right? Whether they handle it well after the fact is a different story altogether. But you know that if Jay White were to debut, he would maybe F up Cody. He would, go up against somebody of notoriety as opposed to meh. By the end, okay, look, by the end of Dynamite, I forgot that Jay White was there. I don't even remember his name. I mistook him for the other fella, Will Ospreay.
Calling Will Ospreay the whole time was damn funny. Okay.
The other New Japan guy. You know, like, you can't do that and expect me to know who this fella is.
There was also speculation that because apparently he lost a loser leaves New Japan.
Yes.
Speculation, right? Then it was like, why would he sign back with AEW? Because AEW will lead you back to New Japan in some ways, what?
Maybe, I don't know. Like, it's all speculation. Maybe he couldn't reach a deal with the WWE. Maybe all his friends are in AEW. All friends wrestling. So he's like, I probably have a better time, better fit here. Or maybe he wants that, the Jay White versus Kenny Omega match, which arguably will be a great match. Don't get me wrong. They've been sort of,
Yeah, I think maybe if it plays into some sort of Bullet Cup history with the Elite, blah, 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 maybe that's like their own side quest. But as of now, I don't see him as nothing more than a TNT title contender level.
Yeah.
Not a world title.
Which is sad, right? Like, you obviously have a main event guy here, and you sort of shove him in. Or have him come out as one of those casino battle royales, or one of those, they always have a wild card. Yeah. Why have him debut on Dynamite? Why not have him debut on All
Revolution.
In or Revolution? Yeah, or in a bigger way. Anything but just showing up. And here's the problem: AEW does this all the time. They just have random Japanese guys, New Japan guy show up, and then after that fuck off for a few months. So
yeah. So they do a lot of stop start, because remember Jay White actually debuted once before.
Yes.
Last year.
So to me, it's like, oh, is he just going to show up for a cup of coffee and then leave for 3 months again? Like I can't invest in that.
Yeah, like Jeff Cobb again is the same situation.
And AEW has done this so many times to a point where it's like you can't take any of these guys seriously anymore. Like, you talk about, it's happened over and over again, right? Like Will Hobbs. How do you mishandle Will Hobbs? Look at the guy. Wardlow. How do you mishandle Wardlow? They served it to him on the platter, and then was he even on Dynamite? Has he done anything of note? Didn't after Will Hobbs won the TNT title, what happened to him?
No, he hasn't been around. He kind of disappeared.
Like I don't understand this booking whatsoever.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you want to compare what WWE has done right, just look at how Cody was treated and how any of the most recent debutants in AEW was treated. I think you can see such a stark difference. I just wish, honestly, I know we did a poll on the IG stories, and everyone, it was leaning towards Jay White would have been a better fit in AEW. But I would argue if he had gone to WWE, he would have been treated as much a bigger deal, because he is such an anomaly, right? We haven't seen a New Japan signing to AEW to WWE for a long time.
Yeah,
it would have been super interesting.
I would argue, I've said this before, I think if WWE somehow signed Kenny Omega, someone like a Jay White, they would be huge stars, because WWE knows how to, push them and make them mean something, as opposed to, you're just going to show up and then do something dangerous probably on free TV for no reason.
Yeah, that's why. So I think I think let's move on now, because it's not really worth us talking so long about it.
Right. And then, they brought in Nigel McGuinness, which is, it's big news, right? But that whole thing where Nigel is there with Tony Khan and Tony Khan needs to get away. Like, why not let Nigel McGuinness make the announcement,
I have high hopes. If Nigel McGuinness is here, I hope he's part of the commentary team. I hope he replaces Tony Schiavone or
Yeah, Tony Schiavone should just be the backstage announcer guy, right? And then Adam Cole, and then you realize Adam Cole is smaller in size than Tony Khan. It kills the image right away,
Yeah. Oh my god, it's okay. But I know Adam Cole is that kind of back. I think they are one of the stars that they're pushing as like a main event guy. But okay, let's not talk about how the announcement was presented, because it's clearly was shit. What do you think of the announcement, bro?
Okay, I think that as a one-off, it will work. As in, I don't know if they are going to seat 80,000 people. Maybe they'll close off certain sections. 80K does seem like it's WrestleMania, essentially, right?
Yep.
And so they are doing All In, All In was the name of the pay-per-view that the first one that they crowdfunded. Remember?
Yes.
So they are going with that vibe. Here's the problem. Back then, yes, they sold out an entire arena, crowdfunded, because the fans thought that they were helping this upstart sort of like, like these underdogs. Now, you literally have a corporation, you have billions and billions of dollars. That vibe is gone. So I think the only thing they have to bank on is the fact that this is the first time that they're going to the UK and they're going to hold a stadium show. People want to be there for the history. I think that if they were to do this a second, third time, I think that would be a problem. I don't think they can
sell out. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, like you said, like AEW, I don't think they have the stars to sell out that big of a stadium. They need some outside help, in my opinion.
I think that they are going to sell out. I mean, not sell out, but they will be packed. Like, it won't be an empty arena. At most, they just give away free tickets like WCW used to do, or wrestling federations used to do. But I think that they'll be there for the event, for the name, for the brand name value, and that's about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Irvin says, what do y'all think about Keith Lee's presentation? What, the salt and pepper? I'm another guy who's been there, disappeared, and then you had Swerve. They were having like an interesting thing. You got Rick Ross, accusations, and then disappeared. Again, it's very hard for me to give a crap about the fact that he's back. And
very
he looks like he looks 10,000 times older as well.
I don't know what, I mean, is that his natural hair? Is he really graying? I don't know.
He looks, I don't want to say he looks terrible, but he looks terrible.
Okay, but the point is, right, I feel like, the pros of this UK show.
Yeah.
Apparently, AEW says that they have a huge viewership in UK in Sky Sports.
Yep.
Actually, their network, their Sky Sports network, is a bigger network than BT Sports, where WWE is held.
Yes, that's apparently what they've been, championing for a while. Like, they're on the biggest network for pro wrestling.
Yeah, so like they have a huge so-called viewership on, and European fans are like the rest of the world, right? They don't get wrestling from North America often, so clearly they'll be hyped for this event.
Yeah.
But I would say that they can sell out O2 Arena, no problem.
Yeah, for sure. O2 Arena, what's the size though?
I would say it's less than 20K, probably like 10, 15 maybe.
Okay. I mean, that one definitely can lah. But yeah, 80K might be a huge ask unless they do a football match before. Fulham will show up.
Yeah. So there's a couple of ways they can go about it, because they wanted to coincide the fact that this stadium show is being held on the 100th year anniversary of the stadium, and also 100-year anniversary of Warner Brothers.
Okay. So what, they can have Batman show up? I'm Batman.
So apparently this was a thing that they did in collaboration with Warner Brothers and Wembley. So they might have Warner Brothers support, Warner Brothers assets that they can, it can even be like WrestleMania, where every single match is sponsored by Warner Brothers movie.
Freaking one Batman and Aquaman and then the Flash all show up.
Yeah, all of that come out. So that could be a thing. But so I would say that they will have the corporate support. They will have the venue support. So probably, I wouldn't say that this is just a one-off thing. Probably Wembley is doing like a year-long celebration of having multiple big events in Wembley. So you never know. It might be like maybe the day before they have the Jacksonville Jaguars do a freaking NFL match as well.
Irvin says Bugs Bunny versus Orange Cassidy. Oh my God! Please don't give them ideas.
Oh dear God. No. Okay, all these things I think will be quite.
Actually, Irvin brings up a very good point about Endeavor, because Endeavor, let's not forget, right? Endeavor, i.e. WWE, sold to Endeavor and stuff like that. They are a massive sort of agency in Hollywood, right? They probably do have the power to block arenas, push people in terms of like, towards Hollywood stuff. So as a young wrestler, right, going up, would you rather work under Vince McMahon for a few years, and yeah, it might suck, but the potential is that you could break into Hollywood because they are under Endeavor, or you could go to AEW to pursue your art?
I think that's exactly it, bro. It just depends on the kind of person you are.
Sure. Okay.
So I think that's good, because AEW just creates this avenue where the artists and I'm doing it for the sake of my craft can have an avenue to like do it.
Sure.
And then the ones that want to be like a big superstar after their wrestling career can just go to WWE lah.
So, okay, back to Wembley, like you mentioned, right? At this point, when you look at the landscape of AEW, is there anybody that can headline this stadium show? I mean, we talk about the champion now is MJF, right? And he's in a feud. Arguably, it feels like a mid-card feud. which is, sad because
With the rest of the populace, right?
Yeah, he's the main champion, right? Deservedly so. But the other three have been portrayed so poorly that it doesn't make sense for them to be in a feud with him.
I would say MJ versus Darby could have sold out this particular pay-per-view for Double or Nothing. I think Darby, out of the other three, would have the best chance. But together now, bro, you know who will be the one that should be able to main event and sell out a Wembley arena.
That's if Tony Khan has apologized enough. If we're thinking about the same person, right? Like we joke about it. We all know this has to be the main event to sell out that stadium show. Elite versus CM Punk and FTR, correct?
Yeah. 6 men. I would even dare say they can even split up the matches. CM Punk versus Kenny Omega and the Elite versus Young Bucks versus FTR for the world title.
Sure.
Like those are the kind of marquee matches. But because it's not because of the bill, it's because of whatever happened from last year. So
exactly.
It's also served on a platter for them.
Yeah, but the question is, will they do business? Like, I guess maybe CM Punk will do business. If you think about it, right, if it's just CM Punk versus Kenny Omega, I don't know if they can kiss and make up.
It's hard because I don't know whatever happened recently with those IG stories, it's gonna be a bit murky.
Yeah.
But they need CM Punk back. Like it's not even arguable. People cannot say like, oh no, they can do it without CM Punk. I really don't think so because CM Punk is like legitimately their biggest star.
Yeah.
And he needs to be on the show.
Jason says it's going to sell out regardless of the card. That's how the Europe crowd works. Do you think so? I think it will sell out, but with help. As in, we will never know if they sold out. And this goes the same for WWE, right? We never know if an arena sells out because everyone really bought tickets or they gave away a lot of comps. Because at some point, right, they can look at the numbers and go, okay, it's actually doing really poorly. Let's give away 10,000 comps. And people will come.
Bro, you can just try all out. Maybe they will get tickets for us also.
We just have to buy the plane tickets to fly to London, is it?
Yeah. We just go there, then we just stand outside like scalpers, right? I think probably just give us to go.
But you know, that's the thing, right? Like with UFC events last time, they would give comms to people in the casino, like your high rollers or people just there. They would just give them free tickets. Hey, you want to watch event tonight? Yeah, sure. This is like, of course, in the time where UFC wasn't so hot, lah.
Yeah.
And WCW has done it before.
That's where AEW is right now, right? They are. I think they're gonna overstretch themselves doing this.
Yep.
And they will. I think this is the big test. It's a litmus test, I think, for Tony because like he's been doing this for 4 years already.
Yeah.
And he wants to see like. I think this is like a milestone thing to kind of prove to himself whether AEW has been successful or not. Like
Tovakin says, if they don't sell out, TK will sell it out. Exactly. I agree with that 100%. As in, if they don't sell out, we won't even know if they didn't sell out because they will just internally okay, the numbers fall short. Let's just give away free tickets.
Yeah. I have a couple of theories on how they can do it.
Is one of them Austin?
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
Unfortunately, no.
Go.
Yeah. So, like, of course, like I said, CM Punk returning, headlining would definitely help.
Yeah.
I would say the Elite and FTR, like, finally their rubber match. I know it's a bit belated. I think will definitely sell out.
Hang on. Ace Steel and the Dog.
Need to be involved.
Okay, no. Bro. Ace Steel versus Nakazawa.
Bro, Ace Steel, the Dog involved in the match, and the match is sponsored by John Wick 4. Let's go.
Walao.
Yeah. Okay, I think also they need to promote a Sting retirement match.
Oh. Sting versus who, though?
Well, of course, Darby Allin has to be the guy, in my opinion.
You think so? And then will Darby go, I'm sorry, I love you. And then super kick.
Instead of a super kick, wait with a skateboard. Oh dear, no. Yeah, but I think, right, if they really push it, like really make it like a retirement tour for Sting and the final match is at Wembley.
Yep.
I think people will come. I think just for the history alone that everyone knows is Sting's final match, that might help.
Well, you know who is a free agent at this point that they could do? You know exactly who I'm thinking of, huh?
I know, of course, bro. I also listen to Jim Cornette, bro. So, yeah, but my question is
versus Goldberg.
Yes. I mean, definitely a Goldberg appearance in AEW. Definitely Wembley would be like, okay, we want to see what's going on. But I have an even better match idea, bro.
Oh shit! Go ahead.
Sting versus Chris Jericho.
No, why? Why,
No, no,
bro?
no, no, no,
Why?
sorry. No, not Sting, sorry.
Huh?
Goldberg versus Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's a long-standing story where Goldberg wouldn't work with Chris Jericho, right?
Yeah, but then what if, knowing Chris Jericho, Goldberg comes to AEW just to put over Chris Jericho and the JAS?
Oh, I'm sorry, but as much as I love Chris Jericho, you know I'm a big fan of Chris Jericho. Nothing he's done recently has made me want to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's gonna be her. But I feel like those are the, like, in terms of like the star power, and
yeah,
you can argue all about Goldberg being this old and whatever, but Goldberg has, like,
yeah.
I think, star power of that level where they can sell out arenas.
He can just show up and then
Yeah.
spear somebody and then F off and it would still be fine. Right? You know, like, yeah, exactly. Like you said, star powers. Okay, Sting retirement match, I agree with that. Somehow if they can wrangle CM Punk. MJF, who does he face off against?
I
Darby
think
Allin?
I don't know whether Adam Cole is big enough to make a MJF versus Adam Cole match for the title, but it would definitely not set. It would definitely not be the headlining match, lah.
But it's their world championship.
Yeah, but remember they had was it this year or no, last year, Revolution AEW was Adam Cole and Hangman Page headline the show, but it wasn't a main event if you think about it.
Well, okay, let's look at the BCC, who are like, mega heels. Now, I still like, this whole turn has been damn raw eyes, yeah? Apparently, Claudio has no spine. You know, 1 week he's like, nice guy, and then next week, you turn, okay, I also join you a turn. Everybody turn. Like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, sure, Daniel Bryan as a heel, enjoyable. I'm there for that. But, and then, they try to screw Adam Page's face off. So I guess Mox Adam Page shit is not over. So it's either going to be BCC versus the Dork Order or BCC versus the Elite if, Adam Page rejoins the Elite. So maybe that is what's going to headline. If you can't get CM Punk back, you get BCC versus Elite.
I guess possible. I don't know whether the story can run all the way until the end of August. But I think BCC will definitely have a prominent role. What, bro? What if they do Stadium Stampede, bro? Wembley Stadium Stampede.
I wouldn't be surprised because they love doing that shit, right?
Yeah. But BCC, I think, needs a gang warfare match, but against who? I do not know.
The Dark Order! Oh my god.
Dear God. Okay, I have an even better idea.
Yeah.
House of Black. House of Black Trios title. I think if nothing else, I think it would be a great match.
Wait, who are they feuding with now anyway? Aren't they feuding with a group as well right now?
They had that one-off against the Elite and BCC. Was it not BCC?
No,
sorry,
JAS, wasn't it?
JAS. Yeah, I think it's JAS. But then now I think the Elite and JAS is House of Black and JAS is having a feud because Rampage last weekend, NRJ and Julia Hart had a match.
Who watches freaking
Apparently me lah. I still keep traps lah, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so there's still I'm looking at the card right now, right? There's still Double or Nothing and Forbidden Door before All In, right? So technically, your four-way with the pillars with MJF, that one could resolve at Double or Nothing. I think that's where it should resolve. I don't think this has legs to go all the way to August.
Yeah, it won't last lah for sure. I think MJF needs someone new. Hey, New Japan is there for Forbidden Door. They might rely on New Japan stars as well.
Maybe. So they will sort of like bleed over into the next one, which is All In lah, right?
And who is one of New Japan's biggest British stars? Okay, never mind. You do not know, bro. Will Ospreay, bro.
Oh, Ostrich. Oh, the guy who like Jay White.
Yeah.
I mean, Ostrich. Yeah. Okay, go.
Yeah, some of them also said on the chat they might bring back the return of Park. If nothing else, it's for the UK crowd, bro. It's the UK crowd.
Wait, does he still work there?
Bro, Death Triangle, he got injured. Remember that he got lepak one corner, I think.
I know, like, that's the problem with Park. He's injured. He's not injured. He's also not there. So who cares? Like, oh my god, so that's their biggest problem, right? And I've said it. I'll say it every single week. The fact that you have angles that play out 1 week, 2 weeks, disappear for 3 months, and then come back and expect us to remember. Excuse me, what?
Yeah, it's tough lah. The funny thing is, I feel like they are relying. The thing about AEW, they don't rely on storylines to build their stories. They rely on their reputation. They rely on the
backstory.
following of the wrestlers. Yeah.
Which is why your fan base will never grow. If you look at the numbers, it's borne that out. It's like you have that dedicated fan base who will always be there because they follow the indies, they know all the insiders, right? And it never grows beyond that. It grew past the million mark when CM Punk and Bryan Danielson and all those people came in, because those are like, your mainstream magnets, right? But the second they left, you see all the casuals just leave with them as well.
Bro, I know who will save the day, bro.
Who?
Another UK British-born star that will save the day for AEW.
Saraya!
I'll get to that. But not her.
Not Saraya, British-born star. Nigel McGuinness.
No, you will love this answer, bro.
Oh, okay, who? Go.
The legendary, bro. Anthony Agogo. But to be fair, Anthony Agogo is well known in the UK because he boxed in for the Olympics, so he's a known name there. Return of Anthony Agogo in AEW, bro.
Remember, he had a moment with Cody and everything, and then it just went absolutely nowhere. The feud for racial equality.
yeah, it was a thing. It was a thing 2 years ago. I remember the days when Cody was hated by everyone.
Yes.
How things have changed. Yeah.
I know, right? So, like looking at this. At this point, August is still a long way to go. Who knows who might sign? What deals they can have happen? They could have a whole New Japan thing. They could have another tournament. I'm sure they'll have a tournament. What's his face loves tournaments.
Oh yeah. Oh, what if I don't know? Okay, there's no news on the Owen Hart Cup tournament, but are they going to do it in Double or Nothing, or they push it to All In?
Is that still a thing? Like, I thought they did it once and then no more.
I thought they were going to do it a yearly thing. I thought the Mata Hart is going to come and dance every single year. I don't know.
And then Tony Khan's going to hug her and look very weird doing it.
No, actually, it makes sense for them to do the Owen Hart Cup tournament in Wembley, where there's so much connection to
British Bulldog?
Bulldogs, yeah.
What about the Bulldog's son? Is he still wrestling?
D.H. Smith, yeah, he is. He had like a cup of coffee in WWE, but then they never put him on TV.
They might sign him just for this one event.
Maybe for like an appearance.
Yeah.
They I don't know whether they're going to be on good terms with Bret Hart, but if they bring Bret Hart back for like as a corner man.
Didn't Bret sign with the WWE for something recently?
I don't know about whether he signed, but he's definitely an ambassador with WWE.
Like a Legends contract or whatever.
Maybe. But they will definitely reference that Wembley Stadium show from 30 years ago. Confirm plus chop one. Yeah, so it's about how they're going to bring it back. How are they going to bring back? And like you said, they have a selling point for the women's match. Saraya and Jamie Hayter are both British born.
Ain't nobody want to see that though. Not the way it's going right now. Like, have there been anybody in AEW's history? Actually, there haven't been a lot. But anybody at the main event level with such piss poor promos? Like, I'm sorry, but every time they cut backstage and they are talking, it is the most cringe thing ever. Like, I'm like, this is what people are raving around? Paige?
This is more Saraya than Jamie Hayter, right?
Yeah, no, Jamie Hayter has been fine. Britt Baker. This is pure case of Tony Khan. New toy, come, I want to play with the new shiny toy. As opposed to going with what they've already built, which is Jamie Hayter versus Britt Baker.
Yeah. Well, they could do a pivot and make Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker really the match if they can. They still have time.
It's too late. I feel like it's too late. The ship has sailed. At this point, now they're going full bore, and kudos to them for going, sticking to their guns. But it's not working because the outcasts, or whatever the hell they call themselves, they are not Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hogan.
Yeah, clearly they're not.
they even want to copy the green spray paint, just make it green. Like, what?
Yeah. I think the best way AEW is going to sell this out, they need help from everyone. I tell you, like, they need New Japan, they need Ring of Honor, they need Warner Bros., they need Wembley, they need Fulham as well. Probably Fulham have to do a match before that.
Bro, they need Batman.
They need Batman, they need Jacksonville Jaguar, they need like sponsors from Exorcist, Pope, Exorcist, whatever it is.
I'm sure HBO got horror movies that they can, tie to the House of Black as well.
Yeah, probably they will have trailers for the next season of House of the Dragon. I think they need all the help they can get.
Yeah, look, I don't think selling out will be the problem. Is that is it going to be a good show? Or is it like, I don't know, man. They'll throw everything out there for sure. They'll do ridiculous stunts and it'll be a crazy show. I'm sure it will exceed everyone's expectations because, we've said this before, right? This is nothing to do with most of the performers are great performers, well, except for the women's division is damn green. But it's only because they have no veterans to look up to learn from. They don't have a feeder system like NXT. It's like everyone from the indies just come there and they're green AF, right?
Would you say, bro? Would you say that this is Tony Khan's Vince McMahon WrestleMania 1 moment? This is his bet. He's betting the house, the farm on this to make this a success.
The only difference is, right, Vince literally bet everything he had down to his last penny. He had to borrow money, if you remember the stories, right? It had to be a success no matter what. I believe that Tony Khan is not under that same pressure. Even if this flops, it will not flop. Even, like I said, even if tickets are 50%, it will still be a packed stadium because then they'll just give away tickets. They have the avenues to do so because he is a billionaire at the end of the day, right? Yeah. So he doesn't have the same pressure and therefore he will not be a diamond. Does that make sense?
The tough thing is I feel like they will definitely need to rely on the outside help. But who is his connections now? I mean, if Endeavor is with WWE, who else from the mainstream will want to give this the shine that it needs?
I'm sure there are talents not tied to Endeavor lah, so okay lah. It is doable, but yeah, you're right. Like, we'll see. I mean, we have many months to go before August.
I just thought of something, bro. With New Japan having a connection with AEW, there still might be a chance that our Miss Monet can help be a star and sell out the show as well.
I mean, I don't follow New Japan, or is she in Stardom, or is it New Japan title?
I mean, technically, Stardom is part of New Japan, so it's like she's appearing in New Japan shows now.
Yeah, so to me, it's like, okay lah, whatever lah. I mean, she's not a big enough draw. I was never that big a fan of Sasha Banks to begin with, so I'm like, okay. I mean, even if she does show up, she's not gonna main event. Who is she gonna fight? Saraya? She like Jamie Hate, like that whole women's division is a mess at this point. I know who. Jade. Wait, no. What is her name? Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
The undefeatable.
Will Jade Cargill finally lose her undefeated title there? You never know. So
at this point, it's a joke though. Like there's the Jade Cargill division, and then there's everybody else.
It gotta end somewhere, right?
So, yeah. But it's like, okay, at least Goldberg was beating everybody of note. You know what I mean? Jade is beating like a bunch of nobodies week in, week out, and literally has had zero interaction with the main event women, Yeah.
So, I mean, we shall see. We shall see what happens with Taya. I don't know whether Taya will be a big enough name to dethrone her, but we shall see.
We know how they book. And Taya showed up 1 week, and then after that she's gonna disappear for 5 weeks, and we've forgotten about her already. And it's just gonna happen over and over again, lah.
Okay. Well, overall, do you think this is a positive news or scary news for AEW fans?
I think it's going to be sobering news once the numbers actually come out, and then the internal sort of like the real numbers versus like how many free tickets he gave away, whether they were able to sell it out. But then again, like maybe we shouldn't be looking at this with doom and gloom. If they do well, it will force WWE to step up their game, and when everyone steps up their game, we as fans win because we have more variety, more exciting things to look forward to.
Yeah, I think this is WWE's recent success, I think has motivated Tony to kind of like, go further and like, evolve more. So I think it's only a win for wrestling fans.
Yes.
You definitely be curious to see how it goes, but at least we got something to look forward to this summer as well.
In August, huh? Well, I guess we'll have to see. That being said, okay, I think it's almost 2:00. It's time for us to get back to our lives, take a break from wrestling, as it were.
Daily work, yeah.
Thank you so much, Chad, for hanging out here with us on this Tuesday afternoon. As always, we appreciate it. Hey, if you haven't joined our Discord, that's where a lot of the conversation happens outside of the podcast. So head over to our Discord. Link is in the description. Also, the link to our Patreon page if you want to take your support for the podcast to the next level. well, feel free to. Any amount is absolutely appreciated. We thank you to our current Patreons, The Shadow, Rishi, Diff Royalty, Irvin, Doc. Thank you so much for helping keep the lights on. Saleh as well.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much. What you guys do, how you guys donate, you guys are literally the 6 pillars of Kick to the Gut, helping us keep going. And I hope you guys as well continue supporting us. And those who are interested in supporting us, it will help us a lot. And we're hoping to do great things this year as well. Hopefully organize another get together. And it all depends on how well the podcast does this year.
Maybe we should do one for All In.
Yeah, like all in. No, but I heard somebody said on the Discord that it's going to be like 2 a.m, bro.
Hey,
It's like
even better.
7 p.m. US and then 2 a.m. Singapore, bro.
Even better, we freaking book like some chalet or the place we did last time, and then because it's 2 a.m, nobody around the industrial area, we can be loud.
Holy shit, yeah, we overnight, then we sleep the next...
I sleep there?
Bro,
you think chalet, overnight chalet, bro?
I hope it's a Saturday night. If it's Saturday night at 2 a.m. like Sunday morning, right, at least can go sleep after that.
Yeah, Sunday night cannot. Because Monday everyone got to work, sian, yeah.
Okay, we'll consider. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the ideas. We shall think about it.
Yeah, everybody take care of yourselves and we will see you again very, very soon. In the meantime, as always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building. Take care.
Open heart, let me see you try.